Hello.
Hello.
I got this bottle of Sambuca, and it's got like a governor on it.
Oh, you got to pull that out.
I can't pull out.
Sometimes you got to get like a knife, because some of the like 750s or the 1.75s have that in there, and you're like, what do you think this is? A bar?
What is this, Canada?
We're not measuring our port. This isn't Utah. Anyhow.
Well, welcome to Four Shots.
Oh yeah. Yeah, hey, I wanted to show everyone, check out this like shot glass I got, right? So it's Jack Daniels, but look, there's a mini little bottle in here. Too bad it's not like a refillable, so you never have to actually pour. It just keeps like filling itself. What are you shooting today, my friend?
Romana Sambuca. We've graduated from Jaeger to Sambuca this week.
Nice. I did not go to the store, so I'm on the same California rye that I had last week because it's sitting where it is. So, okay. To shot one, my friend.
To shot one. This is a big shot. Oh, boy.
And welcome, everybody.
Oh, it's thick.
So Four
thick.
Shots with Tony and Jeremy. And we are happy to have you. And we're going to run the show a tad bit different today because Brandon is not with us because he got married on Sunday. So hopefully we won't have any complications because we're producing this as well as doing it ourselves live. That's what Tony's job is today, to make sure that the show is visible to people.
Or maybe we'll realize we don't even need Brandon anymore. Maybe I'll do such a good job producing that it'll just be Four Shots with Jeremy, produced by Tony.
But then you would have to participate in all the shots.
Correct. Well, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brandon's listening to it because he's on his like staycation, so we can make fun of him, and he can't do anything because he doesn't have the link.
Yeah,
which is nice.
We'll see how smooth this runs. Watch, it's like the perfect episode, and then we'll be like, "Bro, you're cramping our style."
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
But again, welcome. This is the show about nothing and everything, and yeah, we started. Did you put up the shot one thing? I didn't see.
Yeah, I put it up. I got it. It's we made it. We made it. Now we're onto our first segment, which is fresh shit.
Fresh shit.
So,
would you like to go first, my friend?
Yeah, I have two fresh shits. The first one is Brandon obviously got married on Saturday, and it was my first time DJing a wedding.
How did it go? I didn't get to talk to you after.
It went really well. There was dancing, and I didn't screw anything up. But the only problem with it, though, was I had a couple hiccups because people were talking to me. And then, like, I was like, I got to do this, like, DJ stuff, like, and people didn't understand that there's, like, actually, like, a lot of work involved in it. So I kept getting interrupted, and then I would have to, and then I didn't get to talk to anybody. I mean, I drank and I got pretty drunk, but it's very, there's a lot of solidarity in DJing. You know, you don't really get to interact with many people.
No, I remember when I was my oldest daughter, when she was like 3 or 4, something like that. I was in a band and we were playing, and she decided to come up on stage and then start dancing. Then she kept asking me to play the Penguin song, and it kind of killed the show. But I don't know what the Penguin song is. And she's like, you know, the song where I go like this. And it kind of disrupted, but it was so hilarious because, like,
you know, what's funny is, how old was your daughter at the time?
Like 3 or 4.
So most of the people at the wedding did that exact same thing, only they were 34. but they were drunk, and they're like, "Could you play Biggie?" And I'm like, "I don't have internet, so that's not my thing." And they're like, "Could you play blah 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 by Katy Perry?" And I'm like, "No, I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to ruin everybody else's good time by playing Katy Perry." I did play a song for the bride, though, so she wanted some Weekend, so I gave her some Starboy. So
nice.
But my other fresh shit was I watched the movie Capone. Have you seen this yet? with
No, I
Tom
saw
Hardy.
the trailer, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's terrible.
It didn't get very good reviews, but he looks like a cool Capone. It's that dude.
It was Bane, the guy that played Bane. It could have been so great, man, but it was so. It was like 2.5 hours long, and nothing happened the whole time. He was just like sick and dying from syphilis, and you just watched him die for an hour and a half. I don't want to ruin it for anybody that wants to see it, but I mean, it's like literally what happens the entire movie. I thought it was going to be like The Untouchables, but new, and that's what I was pumped up about. But it was like, it was just him being like a lunatic. I mean, it would be like no different than you sitting with my grandfather, because all he does is smoke cigars and like makes weird noises and says the same shit over and over again. So that's basically what the movie was about.
Yeah. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I put it in my queue, and then I saw the like Metacritic score, and I was like, I'll wait till someone else sees it.
Wait for Netflix. Wait for Netflix. Yeah.
It was pretty low, but well, that's cool. I had an interesting. I got into a yelling match with an elderly lady over the weekend, which was kind of fun on Sunday. So like, I'm in line for to go to the Hat. It's a place that sells pastrami sandwiches. I don't think they're out there, but they're like good. No. It's a chain. But like, so I'm in the drive-through line. Well, there's an exit, and so people start forming a secondary line, but there's only one entrance, right? So this guy cuts me off, this big truck, and I'm like, whatever, what are you going to do? So then after him, I start moving in, and this lady starts like jamming to go forward. And I like, at first I'm just like, hey, like, chill out. I'm going first. Like, I'm in line. And then she keeps coming forward. Well, I have Eloise in the car, my youngest daughter. And so like, I roll down the window. I'm like, what are you doing, lady? And she's like, look, where I live, there's a lot of entitled, wealthy people. And it's very frustrating. And she just started like, she had her like Pomeranian in her front on her lap as she was like,
so California.
Right. And like, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to scare this lady. So I, like, being the size I am and a male and like stuff, and down here, started letting her know like what I thought of her, and like very loudly. And she still tried to come in, and I was like, don't make me get out of my car. What am I going to do? Go hit it? I'm not going to hit her.
But you just got to shake her.
Yeah. Like, but like, I like yelled just for like to calm the fuck down. Right. Like, like I wasn't trying to be rude to her, but I also was being really aggressive because like, she was like, you're cutting, and like, and so anyhow, she ended up behind me because I forced my way in there. But that was my fresh shit, because it's kind of like, to me, it's just humorous that like, man, where I live, like, it's not just California. It's like, it's so yuppie, like women in their 60s wearing juicy sweatpants and like, boob jobs and like stuff that's like, it's just so superficial, like where I live.
Man buns. Do you have a lot of man buns? A lot of man buns there?
A lot of man buns. The net, shirts. And yeah, but that was like, it was just because I was yelling at her because I was like, you're about to hit my daughter, like where your car is. And it's not like she would have been like, because we were going so slow, but it was these like fast. And I was like, you hit my daughter. Like, this is, you hit that side of the door. This is reaching a new level. And anyhow, we got our food. We ate it. I had to apologize to Eloise for some of the words I used. And but I taught her, like, don't let people like push you around, like, because they feel entitled. It's not right, So I tried to spin it into like a lesson. Don't know if it worked, but Yeah, that's
I think it
my.
did. I think it did. I think it worked.
What are you smoking?
Secret sauce.
Mm.
I am smoking a sample for something that's coming maybe one day from La Barba Cigar Company. Shameless pitch.
I'm smoking an exclusive
Whoa.
natural because it sounded damn good.
And
You
how
can
is
never
it?
go wrong. Padron Exclusivo.
And how is it?
It's like every Padron I've ever smoked. It does exactly what I want it to do and the way I want it to do it. I love them. I used to like be a fiend and smoke a lot of Padrones. But that's when I worked in retail and I could get them at cost. But now that I buy them, this is from a box I bought, and it's actually a couple years old, which is funny because I actually prefer Padrones right when you buy them. Like I didn't purposely age this cigar. I think it loses some of the luster that you get up front. For me personally, I like them just grab it off the shelf, smoke it. It's perfect. But yeah, I just felt like having a Padron. It's been a long time, so
Nice. Well, enjoy it through the show.
yeah.
Why don't you want to introduce our guest, and we'll see if she's got any new shit going on, and then we'll get into the show.
Is she in the waiting room?
She is in the waiting room. She's ready to
Rad.
go.
We should have we need to get a drum roll. Ladies and gentlemen.
We probably can.
We should get that, like to introduce our guests.
Well, or we could just have you do it every time because what you were doing is sounded really good.
Right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hopefully not boys and girls watching this. Welcome to Four Shots. Oh, wait, that was introducing us. We would like to welcome Maisha Michelle, founder of SOTL, and just a rad chick.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
guys.
Well, hello there.
Hi, guys. I can tell you a story about why I'm saying it like that, but it's really adult.
Well,
I mean, that's the show.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
You look very
really
nice.
Excited and nervous, and thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the invitation.
You're welcome
have your
anytime.
gloves on?
What's that?
Do you have your gloves on?
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I forgot the gloves.
That's all right. I didn't make it a prerequisite.
You should have.
The first time that I met Maisha, she was wearing these like rad kind of like Michael Jackson gloves, leather gloves. And I'm like, it's like when I reached out, it was like, wait, I think we've met. And then I was looking through the Instagram and I was like, oh, yep. She had it left an impression on me. So, I mean,
I did. I can go a little overboard sometimes with the accessories.
Never.
Well, Maisha, it's nice to meet you. We haven't met yet. I'm Tony.
Nice to meet you too.
It's my
Tony.
pleasure. It's my pleasure.
My pleasure. This should be
So,
good.
do you have anything that's happened to you? This is our fresh shit segment. So, do you have anything so do you have anything that you have tasted or smoked or drank or watched or listened to or anything that's happened to you over the past week that you think would be an interesting story for everybody?
Well, I like to tell the story about why I say, hi, guys.
You can.
Yep.
It's very adult. So I work in fashion. I work with a lot of young ladies, interns, and young girls that want to be in fashion, but they know way more shit about what's going on in the world than I do. So after many years of working with me, when I walk in the office, I always say, hi, guys. And so one day, one of the girls had the balls to tell me, she was like, Maisha, we need to tell you something. When you walk in the room, you always say, hi, guys. And it reminds us of these girls we watch on the internet. I think they're from the UK. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I think I fell asleep to one of them once.
I'm naive. But that is... Maisha, have you ever heard this story?
No, let her tell her story.
Okay, so I'll let me finish, and then when you finish,
I'll just say the name of the duo, because I think it's two girls, and the name of the duo, you can look this up. They're called The Cock Destroyers.
Naturally. That,
You definitely fell asleep to the Cock Destroyers.
No,
That was-
definitely wasn't them.
Okay,
that was
good. Well,
no, that was just
okay.
Jeremy's nickname in high school.
Cock Destroyers.
I mean, mostly it was junior high. By high school, I had kind of worn that name off. But,
Lies.
you know.
Lies.
It was the name of your chicken.
So anyway, that should start off my intro to Four Shots.
Well,
I'm
we
a
should have
Cock
a shot
Destroyer.
to celebrate
Yeah.
and
I
welcome
did bring
you.
alcohol. Thank you.
What's your? Oh, you doing tequila?
Looks like Patron.
Don Julio,
Oh, Don
nice.
Julio. Okay, nice.
Blanco.
Tony and I are like slumming it.
I know. I got cheap
I won't
Sambuca today.
mention that I replaced it with water.
Jeremy replaces
kidding.
that. Jeremy replaces
Just kidding.
whiskey with apple juice.
Yeah.
Smart guy.
Well, cheers. Welcome.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
So, Jeremy, go
welcome
ahead.
to our show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about topics to talk about, and we thought we would talk about today just because of it seems fitting having you on the show and talking about kind of what a cigar smoker looks like nowadays. You know, like who are the people smoking cigars? And, you know, I guess I can start the conversation and then you guys jump in to interject or disagree or add to or, you know, whatever. But we've kind of touched on this before, definitely in conversations between Tony and myself. But we've often asked, like with our companies, with Down and Back, with Caldwell and La Barba, we say, like, who are the people smoking our cigars? But really, the question is a much bigger thing. Is like, who is smoking cigars now? And the industry has changed so incredibly much because, you know, if you go kind of from a historical perspective, it was definitely like kind of the upper class. It was definitely a luxury. It's always been a luxury.
Suits and ties, old
Yeah.
guys in back rooms. You know, it's and like you and I touched upon before. It's like when we started this, our thing, everybody was like, who are these guys? Like, these guys are young. These guys aren't Cuban. They have no heritage. You
I
know,
thought you were going to say not cute. And I was like, well, that's true. But, you know,
no, I'm cute.
you are cute. But that's because you're small.
Right.
Wow.
That's because I'm
Wow. Cock Destroyer.
Cock
No,
Destroyer.
he's the
Yep.
baby.
See
we
why
call
we
him
call him?
Baby Bellotto. His last name is Bellotto. But, like, his nickname is Baby Bellotto.
Baby Villado.
It's actually Shardy Party Teeny Tiny Tony Bum Bum. But
One more time.
Shardy Party Teeny Tiny Tony Bum Bum. That was given to me by Robbie's sister because Marriott Hotels thought Jeremy and I shit the bed one time in Miami. So but we didn't. We think it was mini Snickers. But yeah,
as Steve says, you're dainty.
I am dainty.
Are
dainty.
you?
I'm 5'7". I'm the average height of an American male in this country. That's what you all don't understand. Because you're like 6 feet. Rob's like 6'10" or whatever the fuck. Like, I'm a normal person. You guys are the freaks.
Or the freaks.
Yeah, you and Rob.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Maisha, before we get into the new smoker, I want to tell you this story about Jeremy.
I can't wait.
Are you really going to tell this?
Are
do
you
you want me?
nervous?
You nervous? Are you scared?
No, believe me, nothing.
Your wife already knows about it. So what else could happen? I mean, is your mom watching or grandparents?
Well, if they are, welcome to my world.
That's what I said.
So I have Jeremy over one night, and we drink in my living room too much. smoke cigars, have a good time, and we retire for the evening. I went to bed. I live in a condo, like an up-down condo. So my bedroom's up here, and Jeremy's is downstairs. So he decides that he wants to check out some cock destroyers, and and opens up his laptop and gets a cam girl. But he was so drunk that within the
It
first
wasn't a
5 minutes,
girl.
no, it was a girl, but he fell asleep. And she maxed
Oh,
out
no.
the amount of time that he could spend. So in my mind, because he woke up the next morning and it was like over, it was like however, like 4 hours worth of time. And he woke up the next day, and Amber had called and was asking him questions about it, I guess. But I can just picture her like, oh, this guy's way asleep. So at like 3 a.m, she's like doing her nails. Like 4 a.m, she's brushing her teeth. Like
And she's doing yoga.
getting the kids ready for school, and Jeremy's just like tongue out dead. And what Amber said to him, I'll never forget. He goes, "Well, are you mad at me?" And she was like, "I'm only mad because it was like $700, and porn is free."
It
Which
is.
was
Not tonight.
No, I think I was called a few more. I mean, there was a few more things, said in that conversation. But yeah, there was definitely the like, you're a retard. Like, what is wrong with you? This is like, this isn't, she said, isn't that supposed to be free? And I said, not when you're me.
if you're good at something, never do it for free, right?
Right. Yeah, it was to give a little bit of like more understanding to it. I fell asleep and woke up and had my laptop was dead. And I was just like, there was a bunch of phone calls that I'd missed because it was now like 4 p.m. Because what Tony is not telling you is we had drank till like 6 a.m. So
Yeah.
Got it.
So when I thought this was a good idea, it wasn't a good idea. And, and I was also super, super drunk. So, I wake up and then I call him like, what's up? And then it wasn't that large of a charge, but it was pretty substantial.
What wasn't that large?
But it definitely, it's one of those things. If you're going to roll with me, you learn to just shake your head and say, it's just Jeremy.
It's just Jeremy.
Yep.
That's kind of, there's no way, because inevitably I'll do something stupid. And it's whether it's
That
running
was one of them.
naked, through parking lots or whatever it might be, it just ends up kind of happening. And you just like have to be a special individual to accompany to call me your partner.
That makes a lot of special people. Me, Rob, Hernando.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back into Maisha. Like let's talk about this stigma of cigar smokers that we've encountered, and I'm sure you've encountered too, smoking cigars, and us being like really like kind of the new guys on the block, and nobody really took us seriously. And you've started this movement that is unbelievable. So I was just wondering, like, what your thoughts are on what a cigar smoker is today, if it is anything, and
Right.
and how you got started with SOTL and everything.
Well, to be quite honest, I've been smoking for a really long time. And I do like to say that when I was smoking, and I like to say in the late 1900s, I would be like a woman smoking alone in a cigar lounge.
You look really good for 120.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Fountain. Melanin, they call it now. But yeah, so like for many years I smoked alone, and in terms of like women, and then I moved to Miami, Florida in 2001, and I learned all my cigar education in South Florida. And
So
even
good.
there, back then, like the early 2000s, I there if there was a woman that walked in, I felt like I had to like kidnap her, give you your phone number and your firstborn because you got to come back here, you know. So for many years I smoked as a woman alone with, maybe I can count probably on one hand, maybe four fingers, how many women, even in South Florida.
Wow.
Um, yeah. So I kind of um, blame it on the internet because even to this day, I still meet women that smoke cigars via the internet. So when I saw it, I started the organization back in 2015. It's been 5 years in 2015. And even in 2015, it was still kind of hard to like gravitate towards women to see if they want to smoke a cigar, or if they wanted to try it. They just thought I was cool and wanted to try it, which is fine with me. Um, so once I started the organization and let them know that the mission is to invite women and let them know that you're accepted, and this is no longer just a boys club, right?
Hmm.
And that you too can enjoy a cigar, no matter that you're a female. So um, once I started that and started meeting women at different cigar events and traveling to shows and things like that, it kind of it took off. You know, SOTL is at the top of everybody's hashtag. So I mean, that just happened to work out in terms of getting women to smoke. So, and I
How
enjoy
did
it, from the novice to, you know, people who just want to try it. I always say if you smoke something, you can smoke with me. You know, people who smoke weed, people who smoke hookah, smoke cigarettes,
crack?
and you know, you can crack. If you can beat the habit, yes,
Yeah.
crack.
How
But
how did you get into, like, what drew you to cigars?
well, this is my favorite story. So back in the late 1900s, a friend of mine, we used to, me and a group of friends, I want to say somewhere between 10 and 15 of us would go to a music festival in Long Beach. I think it's a jazz festival. I don't want to get the name wrong, but because we would have so many deep, you can bring chairs and food, and you know, it's just a whole fun time, one full day of fun. And one of my friends whipped out like a bundle of cigars, and you know, he was passing it out to the guys or whoever wanted to smoke. So me and one of my girlfriends took one, and he just told me what to do. He was just, whatever you do, don't inhale. So like no real instructions. And I had never smoked anything before ever. Weed, cigarettes, anything. So pretty easy for me not to inhale.
Sure.
Um, and I enjoyed it. I just found like, you know, I felt cool. I felt like one of the guys, and you know, I was just drawing it in and blowing it out. So it was easy. By the end of the night, my other girlfriend was leaning over in the trash bin because she had inhaled. She was throwing up in the trash bin, like on our way to the car. She was throwing up. So that's when I was like, oh, I have achieved it. So that was how I, that's how, that's how I was ushered in. And then from then on, back then living in LA, I didn't really know where do you buy cigars. We definitely didn't have cigar shops like we have now,
Right.
you know? So I literally was like trying to find, where do I buy a good cigar or a cigar at all. But soon after that, I moved to South Florida, and it was a piece of cake after that. Cigars on every corner. Um, but that was the beginning. I want to say that was like 1998,
What was your
99.
first love? Like, what cigar did you smoke where you, not the first cigar you smoked, but like you were like, oh, like this is the shit?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think it was a Carlos Torano, and to be quite honest, I still smoke them.
Nice. Is that the
That's
X?
It may
awesome.
not have been. It may not have been the 50 year. This is the 50 year. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, we got it.
But it was a Carlos Tarano, and I mean, I'll say like, yeah, back then I was like a Carlos Tarano. That's what I would smoke all the time. I would smoke at this cute little quaint little cigar shop in Coconut Grove. If you guys know anything about South Florida,
Oh yeah.
um, and it was called Cuban Pete's. It's now gone away, of course, but I would smoke there all the time. And the manager there, who's now one of my dearest friends, would give me Carlos Taranos every time I walked in. So, I mean, and then like back then, of course, living in Florida, I would try whatever people would say try, you
Sure.
know. I worked with a guy who would get bundles of cigars from Cuba, bundles like shipped to the office, Churchill's size bundles, and he would give me like 10 or 15 of them, split the pack with me. And I would just try what people gave me, and that's how I developed my palate and learned what I like and what I don't like.
One of the things I find really interesting, like, is on the consumer end, like, which we're all consumers, but I mean, when we're talking about like what's a cigar smoker look like, it is that it's very much changed. Like when I started smoking cigars in 97, right when
Okay.
I turned 18. Um, and I would go into a shop and I would always buy a cigar and then leave because I was very intimidated by the people in the shop.
Sure.
Because I was like working at a grocery store, making, $7.50 an hour. And it was like I budgeted for the week my cigars, and like, Friday night would be my good cigar that I spent like $7 on. Then everything else was between like 3 to 5. And like that's just, but I would go in every week and they would always invite me to stay. And I was so like turned off because I didn't understand the culture of cigars. I just loved them personally. I smoked them by myself. None of my buddies smoked. And it was just like my thing, like my private thing. And I didn't understand that there was actually a community. And then
Right.
the shop I went to had opened up a bar. And so when you walked in for the grand opening, they had you pull a ticket out of a hat, and it was some sort of a prize, whether it be a cutter, a lighter, a cigar. And so the owner was like, you get to pull from it, but you have to stay here and smoke with us. And I had already been going there for at least 2 years. This like go in, get my cigars, leave had been going on. And I was very intimidated, but I was like, okay, like you're giving me a free cigar, I'll do whatever you want, like, um, and
Whatever.
and it was so
Yeah,
crazy because
whatever they want. I got that. You missed it. All right, okay. So to interrupt
Go ahead.
you,
all right, we're doing a shot. All right, hold on. So I'll finish with what it was is I stayed, and cheers to friendships, and all that good stuff.
Cheers.
salute.
And I love the taste of whiskey, how it goes down your chest.
Is
It's
that the
like a
same
warm hug.
whiskey?
Yeah,
What's
it's
that
like
one whiskey you had that you said it was California? I watched a couple of
it's
episodes
called,
before tonight.
yeah, this is
That's what
called
he's
That's the
drinking
one.
again.
Lost Republic, the same one.
You must really like it.
Well, I didn't drink any of it from last week till now, so that's why I'm drinking it again.
Sweet.
But yeah, so I stayed for the cigar, and within a half an hour, like I'm a sociable person, I was just intimidated because I didn't feel, because I wasn't well off financially. I didn't know anybody. I was like a kid with tattoos that played in punk bands. Like I felt very out of place. And what I found out very quickly is no one gave a fuck. They were just happy to like talk to me because the cigar was the neutralizer, which created the opportunity for a conversation. And I fell in love. I was hooked. Like I was like, wait, I'm talking to a doctor, to the leading specialist of infectious disease of Orange County. I'm talking to, you know, a construction worker, and all of a sudden I was like, I'm the same. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter like where we're at, or like I'm smoking a Padron today, but if I was smoking a Curly Head from Fuente, it doesn't matter. You know, the fact that we could sit and enjoy and just have a
Agreed.
conversation is the point, not what you're smoking or who you're even smoking with. Now, obviously, if you have bad company, it can ruin your cigar experience, but which I'm sure we've all had. That should be a topic
Absolutely.
one day of like, but
Very true.
it instantly changed my perception of this, and I wanted to be a part of it. And then I got involved because I worked many years in retail, and then repping, and I'm watching like an evolution, because I came in at the tail end of the boom, as you did, like
Yeah.
really when it was just everything was on fire and everything sold out everywhere and every cigar sells like crack. And you know, then I watched brands come up, I watched them fall off, I watched brands like
Yeah.
come up and stay up, watched brands sell. I watched guys get into cigars who were college guys and then fall out of it, and then
Yeah.
like new customers coming in. And I worked over a decade in a retail store, and Tony's store is very unique. It doesn't represent your common store, because his store is like the Peach Pit from 90210. Everybody hangs out there,
So
and they all.
that dates you. That dates you. Not the Peach Pit from
But
90210.
it's
That's
true
funny.
though. But like most stores are much more like client. You know, I mean, the customer comes in, it's suit and this, and I've watched it change and evolve. And what's funny is watching some of the manufacturers not adapt to the changes that have happened. A lot of them have,
Oh,
and like,
that's
it's
tough.
not about naming companies but it's
Sure.
interesting to see who has responded to. We have a new market. Women have come up. Black people in America are the largest population of cigar smokers growing nationally, and younger, like college age kids, because it became an affordable luxury. And I think so it became approachable to people that didn't necessarily know that it was there for them. It just, if you don't know, you don't know. And
Sure.
it's been such a interesting thing to watch. And our industry is so old school. Like, the industry itself is still behind the curve, you know, like it hasn't responded fully to like where the market is.
Women. Yeah, that's very true.
And like,
Very true.
talk about women being like, you know, working for manufacturers. I mean, that's a whole
Yeah.
like topic.
It is.
There's another show right there. You know, it's such an interesting thing, because it was like, when I got hired for my first rep job, it was like, you need to cut your beard, you need to put on a suit, you need to do this. And I was like, why? I did it because it's a job, and I'm not above doing that. I don't need to be so like myself. But thank God I got to move out of that into a realm where I get to be myself and sell, like, you know, and Tony gets to embarrass me with stories of like, you know, such as my life. But
we only had like 8 viewers at that time. Now we're like approaching 20-ish. So
Nice.
right.
yeah.
Well, that's
You gotta
not
be
due to you
yourself.
and me, Tony. That is all because of her down right here.
So that's funny. That leads me to a question for
Yeah.
her. So, Maisha, what are your thoughts and what do you think about this, like, community that you've essentially created, right? I mean, there was no SOTL and there was no real Instagram influencers really prior to you. I mean, you've kind of set the precedent on women and cigars, and it's very interesting to me because, you know, when I grew up, I grew up in a retail environment with my dad, and I've been in the cigar business my whole life, and I remember the boom in the 90s. And there was a boom in the 90s with women smoking cigars that, you know, you had Demi Moore on the cover of Cigar Aficionado, and then you had the James Bond movie with
Yeah.
Famke Jensen that smoked at the Baccarat table. But I mean, I feel like there's a big renaissance now because you took the opportunity and you took the chance to kind of put yourself out there and let other women and other people feel empowered, that it doesn't have to be this back room full
Right.
of old guys, you know,
Yeah.
that have a bunch of money that smoke cigars. So I mean, I'm just curious as to your thought of watching this whole thing kind of evolve as you've been sort of watching it from 1,000 feet. Like, what do you think about what? Because what Jeremy and I were talking about was like you've really accomplished a lot of great things, and I don't know if you know that. So, do you know that? And
What I
what do
do
you think
know is
about it?
that, well, what I do know is that I was one of the first to do it. Now, essentially, there was I had a little team with me that fell off like within the year of starting Sisters of the Leaf, which was fine. But you know, I pushed forward because I know that I wanted to embrace women, and I still want them to be comfortable in the space. I know going into a cigar lounge, like Jeremy's telling a story that you felt intimidated. I mean, you were 18, 19, but you feel a certain kind of way walking to a cigar lounge knowing nothing.
Right.
And the key is you don't really, most of the people that, I love saying this, by the way, most of the people that I know that smoke cigars know nothing about cigars. You don't need to know the education of cigars. Do you know the education of marijuana? People still smoke that. And cigarettes. So I want people to feel comfortable, come in and try it. So sitting from afar and watching it, like everywhere, Dallas, Atlanta, New York City, you know, a lot of these major markets, I watch them now develop a sister group, a friend group, a community group of cigars. So you know, there's hi haters, because I'll say hi to the haters, but I do pat myself on the back for keeping it going.
Yeah. And what's crazy about that too is like there has been, and this is slightly off topic, but to bring it into this, there has been in this industry, just as well as like people with different agendas that have come in that were females that have tried to use like and have been successful at using like sex appeal and things
Sure.
like that. And like it's always been a frustration to me because it's like I get it, sex sells everything, no one's arguing
It
that,
does.
but it's like, but
It
you
does.
don't need it. Like you actually don't need it in this industry, you
Well,
really
that's why
don't.
I sell so much. That's really why I sell so much,
That
is
is why
because
you're so successful. Your sex
Right.
I
appeal.
like
my sex
Both of you
appeal for
guys.
you sell your sex appeal,
oh
I sell all this. But I mean,
All of it,
yeah,
all of this.
all whatever
oh
this is. But you know, the thing is, there's been like a stigma, and I've heard manufacturers like, and I know that like, and be suspect of like, what is this female's agenda in our industry? What is she
we have
trying to do, and what is she trying to get out of it? And it's been,
Boys,
we have a good
boys.
question.
yeah,
No, I'm saying that's what women are trying to get out
oh
of it.
yeah,
Boys.
and uh, it's
We have a good
very
question from
cool to
Tommy
be.
though.
Yeah, but let me finish my thought.
I will, but
Yeah.
I hope it does. I hope Zach can keep that up there because it's good. It's a good question.
Well, you
So go
remember
ahead.
the question. All right. I was just going to say that it's good. Like, and I've been excited to see, like that is changing because I mean, look, there's people are always going to use their own agendas to get wherever they want to get in life. Like, hey man, it's the hustle. I'm not judging
Yeah.
it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I have my preferences, but like you do you, I'll keep doing me. You know, like we were looking for, like we had a territory where we were trying to hire someone, and I specifically wanted to hire a female, and I even encountered both ends of the spectrum in trying to find someone because I had a female that had credentials, but like she was using her platform and And I was like, yeah, it doesn't work like that. We're not that company. Like you might think we are because we're young and we're kind of like asshole-ish in a certain sense. And like, but we're not like, we're not trying to use anything to sell our product other than our product. And then I had others, and I didn't actually end up finding for that territory a female, but I really wanted to hire a female in that territory because I was like, we need to set, like, if we started this company to carve our own path, then we need to do it our way. And our way should be, for lack of better words, like, we should try to be cutting edge. And it's not let's hire a female because she's a female, but it's like the industry's changing. Like, we need more on the back end. And like, it's been very cool to see, like, I'm bringing it back to like with what you've done. And there's some females in this industry that aren't necessarily employed in this industry, but that have completely flipped it on its head unintentionally.
Sure.
Which is what
you're right.
Even more volume to like what you've done, because it's not a job. You did this out of passion, and because
100%,
like, you're not getting anything out of it, you know, like you just get, except for trying to grow a community. And that's super cool, because that is what our industry is about, whether they want to acknowledge it or not. That is, like, we smoke cigars because we like to sit and talk to people and commune with them. That's why we smoke, you know.
It's very true.
And it's not just refreshing, it's encouraging, because like we're not there yet as an industry, but like it's happening. It's slow, but it's happening. And you know, I don't know, I'm just excited to see and be, you know, like, we have manufacturers on this show. We'll have, you know, all kinds of, you know, cigar celebrities. But
Sure.
I'm really happy actually just to have you on here, because I think you represent kind of the unspoken, you're like the underdog that's done more than you even realize with this industry.
Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm not posting with a bikini on. That's never, ever gonna happen.
I'll do it for you.
Jeremy will post without a bikini on.
I'm not pulling in the people that like, if you want to see my ass and titties. I mean, I always say cleavage maybe, but I'm not pulling in people for that reason. No, it is strictly for the passion of cigars. And that, you know, I want women to feel comfortable. I want men to be comfortable with women in the space. Look, I've gotten that, you know, walking into a cigar lounge and it's like, are you lost?
Right.
Are you buying for your husband? I mean, I've gotten that many times. Do you want something sweet to smoke? Many times. Never smoked a sweet cigar ever. But that's all, like you said, it's a process, you know, like every industry, people will learn what's good for the community.
Sure.
So we have a good question from our friend in St. Louis. I don't know if you can see it or not, but he says,
I can't.
He says, how would a local shop set up an event that caters to women, and how do we get the word out to them? Is it a market that most miss out on because they don't know how to find your group?
Well, I'm on all platforms. Sisters of the Leaf is on all platforms. It's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snap. We're on those platforms, which draws in followers, of course. But your local shop, I mean, you talk to your owner, and generally to get women in, you probably want to call it ladies' night, and you cater to the ladies.
Perfect. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe bring someone of knowledge, a manufacturer that you love, a sales rep that may have a little knowledge that can help educate both men and women. That's the best way to start. But it's an event. You know, when you have other events at your cigar lounge that would be like a whiskey or, you know, spirits or wine or whatever, pairings, have some victuals, maybe some music. That always draws people in, for sure.
So Christine, who is a member of the PCA. Also asked a question, Maisha, what has been your biggest hurdle in the industry so far as a woman or not? What do you think about that?
I mean, well, like I said, the hurdle was just being accepted. Look, when I walk in anywhere, I'm a woman and I'm a Black woman. So I you know, depending on the shop or store or area, I have those two hurdles first. So I think for me, because I've been doing it for so long, I come with confidence, right? So not a lot you can tell me to piss me off because I know what I want in terms of cigars or anything. So generally speaking, in the earlier years of me smoking, yes. I mean, I also felt some confidence into walking into a cigar lounge, not knowing anything. I didn't mind asking questions. If you don't mind asking questions, usually someone in the cigar industry is happy to talk to you about cigars.
That's
So I
such a
mean,
true
in the
statement.
what's that?
Sorry, I was just saying that's such a true statement that people don't ask. It's not like going into Best Buy and going to the like Geek Squad where they've heard the same question. Like cigar people typically genuinely want to share their
They want to
knowledge
share.
and want you to have a good experience. So they're going to be like, whether they smoke a flavored cigar or they smoke Padrones or Davidoff or any cigar, they want you to find the right cigar for you. It's not a
Yeah,
judgment of, oh, this is not a good cigar versus this is. I'm
right.
sure there are guys out there that do sell that way, but like for the most part, I've encountered people want. It's like if you go to a restaurant, the chef's making a meal that he wants you to enjoy, you know,
Right.
and like is the same as cigars, is that there is something for everybody, and it's not like one is superior over the other, you know. And I think that's just, you're right, that it's absolutely, people want to share,
Yeah.
they want to,
Come with
like,
the questions. Bring the questions. People want to talk about it.
right.
You know. Yeah.
So today, funny enough, we're gonna go way over our 1 hour. I haven't even felt like it's been an hour. You know, we still have to check in with Zach at one point. We have a call for another shot. If you guys want to do that,
I
I'm
did fill
down.
her up.
Maisha, are you ready?
I stay ready.
Ah, love it. Cheers.
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 So just so everybody that's watching knows, we're going to go over because this is such a good show.
I don't think people are going to complain to you about going over. No.
Mhm.
No, I mean,
If they
I've been
did, who
trying
cares?
to achieve some sort of consistency with this shit show
Yeah.
that we do. You know,
We'll send
So-
them to our HR department.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's either me or Jeremy or Trevor, one of the three.
It's an unresponsive email. It goes into the ethers of the world. Send your complaints
The wo-
here.
The way
So
you
it's-
keep it real is so awesome.
That's
Unresponsive
awesome.
email.
Right?
Nobody cares.
Right. We're just like, oh, you care. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Oops.
Someone will get back to you.
If we had an HR department at Down and Back, it would be a very difficult thing to manage.
We would have all been fired. Let's just be honest.
We might be in jail. We
Yeah.
might be in jail at this point.
That is so true.
So we have another segment. If that's okay. If you want me to keep it moving, if not, we're good.
Can I ask you another question first?
I'm down.
Yeah. Of
Boom.
course.
So over the past, let's just say 5 years, how do you think, I mean, you touched on that, like social media has become a part, but how do you think that has played a role in growing communities of cigar smokers that had not been reached before?
Well, I hope it's good for them, you know, especially like talking about like cigar lounges. I mean, I've gone to cigar lounges a few years ago, like, you need to have an Instagram page. No, I'm not interested in that. Like, you need to have, this is free advertising for you. Why not? So, I mean, it's been an evolution. It's great in my opinion. I mean, look, I started an organization for women who smoke cigars.
Yeah. Have
You know what I'm
you
saying?
noticed? Have you ever had people reach out to you that had not smoked that wanted to be introduced to it because of the SOTL or like just being intrigued
Absolutely,
by it? See,
absolutely,
that's the amazing
all
part.
the
Is
time,
like,
especially on Facebook groups. You know, I feel like people join Facebook groups because of their friends or because they saw a photo, maybe whatever it is in an algorithm that show them a woman smoking a cigar, either that grosses them out or it's like, oh, I'm intrigued. Where do I go to get that? I mean, I've had women say, I want to look like that. Where do I go? So, yeah, I mean, it's for the betterment of your brands if you manage it well.
so you would have to find buttons, Tony, if we had an HR department.
Well, we're down and back is very lacking in buttons.
No, we
We're
have it. You just send it. You send it. No problem. It gets to somebody.
Can I say something?
Of course.
yeah, absolutely.
Little shameless plug. So you can't really tell, but I am sitting in a
Looks like an
mobile
airplane.
cigar lounge.
Serious?
Oh,
It's a mobile cigar lounge. A friend of mine, one of my dearest friends for the past maybe 13, 14 years, bought what I think is a 9-person van and converted it into a mobile cigar lounge. Right?
Awesome.
that's
So
amazing.
when you, so he picked me up and we drove over to downtown LA. We were downtown LA. Now we're in the arts district. He literally posted, I'm all set up in here. There's a TV here. It's actually available for you to write. It's called LA Havana Mobile Cigar Lounge.
That's
LA
dope.
Havana.
Yeah. Pun
Havana.
intended there.
So this is where I'm posted up today. I wish I can show you more, but you know, I've got the light going on and the cameras and all that.
Is there a website?
See, is there a website or an Instagram? I'll
Yeah,
get on it.
promote it.
I'm his publicist, so I'll make sure that all happens.
That's
So
But yeah,
in the
super. Can you rent
in
it for the evening then as like a party bus?
absolutely, absolutely,
Will he come to Orange County?
absolutely.
My new best friend.
Yes, he will. Yeah, no, really, no, really. We just tried to find. I knew I was doing this today. Of course, I pitched it to him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm down." So we came over to the arts district, where it's semi-quiet here downtown, but um so I'm gonna get put a chair in the van before he even got the van for me.
That is amazing.
Let me see if I can get out of the way.
well, those chairs are awesome.
It looks
dope,
like
right?
there's brick behind you. You know what I mean? Like it's got like a very
It
like
is.
that's
Maybe I
crazy.
can flip I don't think I can flip this around. So
So
I'm not
Maisha,
quite sure.
where can the two people that watch our video find the mobile cigar lounge?
Two people. Well, you can start with me, Sisters of the Leaf, again on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'll be happy to give you the contact information of my friend. His name is Smalls. You know,
Awesome.
he might be small. I don't know.
Well, look, he
I
could
don't
be
know.
very big.
I doubt it.
It's
You
very
guys are like stumped.
no, the Italian thing is like if you're tiny, you're very big. If you're big Tony, you're
Right.
very small. You know that's the
If
Italian
you're
way of doing things. So
smalls, you're
it's
probably
very
inadequate.
yeah.
Can Maisha, is it cool? I don't want to speak out of turn, but before we jump to the next segment, do you, if you don't want to share kind of what you were telling me, what you're up to of late and what you've been working on, you're more than welcome to share it. If not, I won't say nothing.
No, let's do it. I mean, because of the only downside to it is the pandemic. I mean, that's the downside of the
Everything.
circumstances of what exactly. So, but about a year and a half ago, well, I would say 2 years ago, I was interviewed by a cigar YouTube channel called Beyond the Smoke. You could probably search YouTube for that. Beyond the Smoke. The creator and host and producer interviewed me, and we hit it off, and like came up with so many ideas of so many different avenues of how we can promote cigars in our community. There's like untapped territory where people are not talking about cigars, where we want to put our toes in. And one of them was a documentary. So we've been filming a documentary for the past year and a half.
What?
Absolutely, called Smoke Big. Smoke Big is a documentary about LA cigar culture. So we've interviewed celebrities, influencers, novice, men, women, cigar shop owners. We feature cigar shop owners, cigar brands. We've tried to include a lot of different voices in this industry.
Did you get
And
midgets?
if they smoke,
That's not the right term.
I'm only 5 feet, so is that
No.
yeah, midget? I don't think you use
Okay.
midget much
You can't
anymore.
use, is the word midget? You can't use it?
I think
It's
they
about- it's-
prefer little people.
Oh.
I prefer little person.
Tony, what do you
I
prefer?
can hear
midget
some.
or-
I have some
Tony.
friends here too. Fun size. Somebody said fun size.
Tony, what do you prefer, midget or fun size?
I prefer normal, actual height.
Okay, so
Normal,
fun
actual,
size it
average
is.
American height. He said.
Yeah, that he read in Wikipedia that he changed to.
I have no influence on Wikipedia.
You get to edit it if you want. Okay, I'm
We're
sorry.
live.
Back to you. Back to you, Mike.
So yeah, the pandemic has definitely slowed everything down because we were hoping to wrap filming in the spring of 2020. But we haven't been able to do that because we still have interviews to do. We still have promo shoots to do, but it's been tough because, hard to get people together during a pandemic. We're trying to stay safe. So, which is fine. I mean, we just put it off. We've got other things in the making. Like I was offered to do a podcast. Now, if I do Jeremy, let me just say thank you for inviting me here because I love cigars. You guys know this. It's a passion. But I just didn't think I would be really good at talking about it. So the fact that you guys talk about fresh shit, that's why I was like, I'm in.
That's what we do.
I know. So people want me to do a podcast. So I'm like, I'm not going to talk about cigars.
Yeah.
I want to do one of the things that I do best. Talk shit.
Nice.
So
bring it, babe.
We're working around a podcast and some other things, but the focus has been mainly on the documentary, and I'll give you guys details on that too. We're hoping to get some things done before the end of the year, but it's been really tough.
Well, if there's any way that Tony and I, in whatever platform this is, can help you and help give exposure to it, we got your back. Like
we do.
Thank you.
This is something that, like, this entire show, I think it's taken a while, but people will eventually realize that we're not on here to like plug stuff. We're here to like plug the industry, and people that are a part of it.
Right? Yeah, and the culture that surrounds it. I mean, that's the key, right?
And
so you guys saying we can interview you for the documentary? I can come to OC. Where are you?
100%. You can come to OC. You can come. Look, you can come sit.
You come to Youngstown, Ohio, if you want.
Yeah.
Where are you?
Ohio.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know that you could come. We have a warehouse in Orange County. We do California distribution, and I have an office set up. Plus, it's where my like band practices and stuff. So it's this. But there's like a great hangout in Orange County that if you do come down, we can be socially distant and safe and have a great time.
I'm gonna hold you to that, brother. I'm
So,
gonna hold you to it.
Very nice. I'm glad I was invited. to the warehouse that sells my own cigars.
I'm sure you've been there.
I'm-
Yes.
No,
No,
yeah.
I haven't.
Oh,
But that's
sorry.
because
The pandemic ruined everything.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It does.
But
yeah.
I would love to have you come down, regardless of an interview. You know, if you
Yeah.
want to bring a couple friends, we have a great setup that we could sit and just hang out. Because I have
Really?
become a little bit of a hermit during this pandemic, and I've been safe, and I don't plan
Same.
on breaking it because other people decide that it doesn't matter. So I'm staying safe. But if people are willing to be safe, then I'm down with hanging with those people. So
Only safe. And you live in a land where people don't really give
oh,
a
it's upside
fuck.
down. It's
Yeah.
upside down here.
I think that deserves a shot.
Yeah.
The invite to the warehouse, I think, is
Yeah.
Invite to the warehouse. Shot
Invite to
number
the
4.
warehouse anytime.
Thank you.
All right.
4
So,
shots.
and surprisingly, we made it to an hour and 7 minutes only doing 4 shots because we're
Wait,
usually
that's
at
only our fourth?
yeah, because things are so interesting. We're not doing shots.
Wow.
That's what's so cool about
like,
this show.
This is
That we didn't have
Jeremy, do
to-
you want to do 12 shots, Jeremy?
No.
We have.
I know.
No, I don't need that in my life tonight.
We have.
I heard.
Yeah.
So you guys want to, we're at an hour and 7 minutes. You want to check in with Zach, see if he has any questions for Maisha?
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Cock
Good job,
destroyer.
Tony.
You know,
All
as
right.
You're
soon
going to
as
look this up.
you know, as soon as
when
this
we're
is done, I'm gonna look up what cock destroyer is because I don't know this and I need to in my life now.
I hate it that I'm promoting it, but it's hilarious.
Well, it's happening. It's happening.
Caulk destroyers.
All right.
I think they're from the UK. So
Caulk, say that again. Do the Cockney accent.
caulk destroyers.
That's so good.
Oh. Hey,
That's
we
so
should do a
good.
Lost and Found series called the Cock Destroyer
We can.
See?
We could do that.
See?
We
with a
could do
dead
that.
rooster.
Please
a dead
invite me back.
rooster on the band.
Just exploded feathers everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. Exploded.
That's so good. That's so
This
good.
could be so bad. So bad.
So good. That's what makes
That's what Lost and Found's about. It's so bad, it's good.
It is. It is. Caulk destroyers.
Oh, Caulk destroy us.
Yeah, destroyers.
Can we
When
have
do you
it
see
have
them,
a
you're gonna
button
be like-
that you push and it says Cock Destroy Us?
You can. Yes. You guys do need that. You need like a little sound effects.
Well, we talked about
We need like a Howard Stern, somebody.
Yeah.
Like it's in my
Sure.
house, so I don't have like a lady like behind the glass to make the.
Yeah.
You got the air horn?
Blah, blah, blah. I still do have the air horn, and we could talk about that forever. When Jeremy and I were in
and
Seattle,
Steve and our
and
buddy
Steve Callow, he's still
That
still
was the
there.
night of
Yeah.
nights, but yes.
See it. You guys hear that?
You have to pay
That's how
copyrights
you get the
now.
party started.
That's how you get the party started.
Yeah.
All right, let's check in
Time.
with Zach. Let's check in with Zach, see what's going on.
Hi,
There he
Zach.
is.
What's up? So the question is, does my mic work?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
I
amazing.
emailed StreamYard. They
Hey,
never
hey.
responded, but I think they have the
Tony,
our problem.
mute Zach, and I'll just talk for him.
Because that's pretty much
We're-
normal anyways.
Okay,
Hi.
there you go.
I'm Zach. How are you? I am in Arizona today. I've been working really hard, but it's evening time and I'm relaxing with a nice big cigar. I'm also watching Cock Destroyer while I watch 4 Shots with Tony and Jeremy. And all right, get him live.
I mean, the first
He's back.
thing
He's back.
I
Zach,
looked
did
up
you-
was
did you
Cock
even-
Destroyers. Are you kidding me?
Did you Google it at least while you were waiting?
I just pulled it up on my laptop. I didn't even Google it. I just started watching it. It's my new favorite show on TV.
Oh, you went right to the laptop. Like you don't care about your browser history or anything.
Oh,
No, not at all.
You're just
I'm
going
the same.
straight in.
No, I
Well,
mean,
Zach,
our HR department might be concerned with my browser history because I use
yeah,
my
make sure
laptop
to
for
send
work.
it to
But
them. Make sure that they
Our,
don't.
by the way, our HR department has way worse things on their browser history than COG Destroyers.
that's
So
I
absolutely
don't
true.
know. Oh wow.
So, Zach, Maisha, I'm introducing you both.
It's good to meet you.
Very nice to meet
And
you.
So, where are you, Zach?
I am at Churchill's in Phoenix on
Nice.
44th for the first time in a while, not at Anthony's or at Tony's house. So it's nice and it's empty. So
Did you get some
Excellent.
Lanceros? Because he's got a great selection of Lanceros.
it doesn't appear so.
That's embargo.
No, that's also
Really?
embargo, but Churchill's digs the Lanceros. I know what
Yeah,
I'm
I don't know
talking
if they-
about.
I don't know if they carry so many though. I think he hoards them all for himself.
That could be true.
So
Maybe he
I know
orders
he's
them.
got some of our Lanceros and they're not on the shelf. I think they're in his locker.
Smart.
So,
Zach, do you have questions for Maisha?
I think she pretty much answered it with the comment of getting like a ladies' night going at cigar shops, and I think Tommy's big concern was just like, how do you reach out to with like, okay, so you create a ladies' night, how do you get it out to women that may not be comfortable going into cigar shops because most of the dudes that go to them can be assholes. I'll admit that right off the bat. But like, how do you kind of like market it or advertise it to get people that may either not be comfortable with it or may not know that specific shop exists?
Well, I mean, for me, even trying to get the younger demographic, for me, what worked was the DJ. So maybe like a local DJ who's comfortable with, like spinning at a cigar lounge. Women generally, or young people generally, are interested in the DJ and the music. So you bring good music. I mean, it doesn't take a lot for a DJ to set up in a little corner of a cigar lounge. Bring some music. I mean, it doesn't have to be loud and you're disturbing your neighbors, but at least you're bringing in a younger demographic who may be interested. To be quite honest, some of our younger generation is smoking whatever the fuck, smoking whatever. I mean, I can name some things, but to smoke a cigar, if they want to be, they associate it with being elegant and being smart and sophisticated. If that's the look that they're going for, you'll pull those people in. But like I said, ladies' night, social media, 100%, 100%. Having your local influencer, I'll be happy to help. Even in the area, it's so easy to do. Hashtags help to bring in people newbies who just want to try it. Food, I mean, it's like a party. So you're essentially having a
Right.
small party
Right.
at a cigar lounge. So this is how you bring in new people.
Zach, you want to bring somebody in? See if they want to
I
ask
was
Maisha any
actually
questions.
just looking for people to bring in. I see that our good friend Tim Ferriss just joined up and is watching now. Or we can bring in Steve to tell the glorious story of the ham horn.
The what now?
The wah,
the
wah.
ham horn. Wah, wah, wah. Zach, it's up to you to bring in who's going to talk. So bring
Yes.
him in if you want.
Hey, can I before you bring him in, I want to share a tiny little story that I think pertains to tonight and kind of us and just the industry as a whole, if that's cool. So I went to do an event in Arizona. I had done a couple of events prior there because I handled the sales, but I'm also a partner in the brand. So like I'll do events. So I had I was in the middle of the event and the store owner came over to me and shared that there was a woman that had been a big time supporter of our brand that I had offended. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, she doesn't really want to talk to you. but like she used to smoke your brand's cigars quite a bit, and she does not anymore. He's like, I wanted to tell you. Well, of course I'm going to go talk to her, because like that's a weird scenario, because I don't consider myself an offensive person. So
Sure.
I went over, reintroduced myself, and I said, so the store manager says you have like that I've offended you somehow, and I apologize for that, but like what happened? And so she explained that in the event prior we had done in this store, that she had walked into the humidor while I was helping another customer, and I made some comment when she was standing around, not that like I didn't give her attention and I was helping the other people,
Oh,
and she
geez.
felt it happened because she was a female. And I said, so she explains this to me, and she's like, it's like you assumed I wanted to smoke flavored cigars or something because I'm a female. She's like, but I've been a long time smoker. But I don't remember the instance in which this happened. And I know that I worked retail long enough to know that I wouldn't do that to a
You would
person
never do that.
intentionally.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. A person was offended, you know? And so I said to her, I was like, how about this? Like, what do you drink? And she told me. And so I went and got us a drink, came back and sat down with her, because it bothered me that like someone felt that because she felt that she was a minority in the cigar community of that shop, that she wasn't
Mm-hmm.
paid the same respect. And honestly, it would have been unintentional. That would not have been something that is in my book of like how I conduct myself. But it honestly doesn't matter. Like someone's offended, they're offended. You just have to
Sure.
address that. But it was such an eye-opening experience, because this lady was an avid smoker and had been supporting us. And then I would say that event was about 9 months prior that it happened. She hadn't smoked a single one of our cigars since then. And
Damn. She was
it's like,
mad,
all
man.
right, like you're going for the gullet with this, but like, nonetheless, it's the perspective, like the point of it is like, there are going to be, what are considered minorities in cigar groups, in shops and stuff. And like the beauty of this industry is that it shouldn't matter whatsoever, like political views, religious views.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Go down the list of every single thing that you could categorize as something that would typically keep you away from a conversation with another person. The reason I love cigars is because like, it's not that this breaks it down. You still have your viewpoint. I still have mine, but hopefully we could be respectful enough to have conversations as adults. And, even if I offend someone that I didn't realize I offended, that I could like take enough time to, hey, I apologize for, that situation that happened. That wasn't my intention regardless. And, just understand that it's like the community often gets looked at as like whatever that pocket is. Like your community is like who you hang out with, right? Who's on your street corner, who is in your business, who are your clients, who are your this. But cigars, it's everybody. Like it really is like young, old, male, female. I mean, there are shops that like I've been to that actually Zach and I went to not long ago, and we were in the middle of bumfuck America, where you think it's as like Republican as can Republican be, and there's a transgender like behind the counter, and she is hilarious, and I'm like, how do you keep your doors open? You are in the middle of like Farmerville.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I am who I am, and those that accept me do, and those that don't, fuck them.
Well, I think ultimately it comes down to like what Maisha said is confidence. Like if you're confident in who you are, no matter what it is, whether or not you're whatever, as long as you're
Yeah,
confident
it's
in who
true.
you are,
Right.
right? whether or not you're anything. It
Short?
doesn't. Short.
I'm short.
As long as you're confident being short.
Yep.
I think that
I can't do anything about it. So
yeah, we can't do anything about anything. So, in my opinion, I think honestly, I think that you should embrace it, and you should be happy about it, and you should not give a fuck about what anybody else thinks. Right?
which comes with
So
time, by the way. It comes with time. I think,
it
in
does.
your early years, yeah, you may not be comfortable. I mean, for many years, I didn't even like my first name, to be quite honest. But it came with time. I learned to embrace it, and found out why my parents and my grandparents named me, or even my height, or everything, my skin color, my hair texture. All of that comes with time when you learn to embrace it. Like I said earlier, I had to be confident. The first step for women walking into a cigar lounge, you've already walked in. You walked in,
Which
so
is hard.
now you
That's the hardest
it
step.
is. It is. So you've already walked in. So now find somebody that you can talk to. Usually, like I said, the owner or the whoever works there is happy to talk to you, which I find sometimes it really depends on which lounge or where you are. You are embraced by the people that work there. There may be the uneasiness comes with people sitting in there.
Right.
Either they don't want to, it's either one extreme or the next. It's like they want women in there, like, yes, please come in and break the monotony in this cigar lounge, or you're like, what are you doing here? So I find mostly that men want women to come to a cigar lounge. Now, do men want women to be a part of their brand?
Right.
That's sometimes the struggle.
And Joe, I want to comment to what you just made a comment about. And like, that's unfortunate. Joe made a comment that he made two comments. He said his wife has gone into shops, but she has felt unwelcomed and in there, and so she doesn't want to go. And then Joe said, like, we're done kind of going through that rigmarole. And like, dude, I'm sorry for that. Like,
That's a
Yeah, me
shame.
too.
It's a
like
shame,
that
man.
is because we're talking about the cigar industry in kind of a light of like we're accepting and this and that, but you're right, man. Some
Not
people
everywhere.
are just fucking assholes, and that is
Not
the
everywhere.
reality, man. And like
Yeah.
I said, kind of in the very beginning, we are an old world industry that used to
Yeah.
be white, rich, old men, and that's the only
Yeah.
people that smoke cigars.
Yeah.
And for some reason, some people still have that stigma shoved up their ass so far, and like
So true.
that's unfortunate, man, because like, there are some fantastic shops out there, but I'm sure and I've been to some of these shops too. There's fucking dickholes out there too, man. And it's just unfortunate that like your wife has experienced that. But you know what? Like, fuck them. Have her go in there and smoke your cigar with your wife,
That's
and tell
right.
the guys you want our patronage, you want our business, then treat us like with some respect. Call them out
Yeah,
on
and
their shit,
go
or
and
tell
go.
us their name and we'll call their shit out.
Do
Fuck
it.
yeah, fuck
Like,
Do
yeah.
that
And
shit
we're gonna
because
go smoke cigars, and we're gonna have fun. And it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. The only thing that matters is we're gonna smoke cigars and have fun, and that's
that's
the
really it.
key.
That's what people don't really get, actually. I mean, I use cigars, it relaxes me. You know, sometimes it's how you get through your day, your week, a tough time, this pandemic. I use it.
Maishi, you have to stop using me. I'm just saying. I'm a human. I'm a human being.
Nobody's ever said that to me before.
Well, I think Steve has a question for Maisha, and he
Oh,
has
yeah, we have
joined
to
us
do that.
now.
We have to
do
do
that
that pod. Okay.
bring our
So-
Hi, Steve. Hi, Steve.
Hi,
Hello.
Steve.
I think I need to charge.
Is he there?
I am here. Can you hear
There
me?
he is. Yeah, there you are.
What's up, everybody? How are
What's
you
up?
tonight?
How you doing?
Maisha, Steve is one of our dearest friends, regardless of this industry. He's just like our bro. So,
Yeah.
Does he smoke? Is that a cigar in your hand?
oh, he smokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
we have a
chimney?
lot of people on. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. No, this is by far, I think, your guys' best episode so far. Like,
Well, thank
just
you.
awesome.
Am I the
And
first
it's-
woman?
Yes.
I thought about that too.
You
Okay,
are.
so what are we on?
Yeah.
Shot five? Shot five?
Oh,
I think
yes.
that's what you just alluded to.
I got my mini cup. I got my mini cup. It's for fun size. I'm ready.
fun size.
Fun
The
size.
fun size.
Cheers, boys.
So, and I appreciate the kind of the detail that the conversation has gone down, and kind of almost we started at that high level and we've gotten kind of granular, which is awesome. But I think on a more fun note, they talked about Jeremy's webcam experience. And really, that's what cigars are, right? It's a means to an end, and that end a lot of times is stories, right? With some of your best bros, best friends, just people you've met along the way. Exactly. And that's a good story. Tony, how many times have you hit that button? Look down on your phone and tell us how many times you've hit that button.
I think I had to re-download it. Well,
You guys
Maisha,
are
there was
using
an
that all
entire
the time.
night of this. An entire
Yes,
night.
I think it was like 3,000 times we hit
Call
that
me.
stupid button.
Call
Right.
me.
right
Yeah.
now, as of today, it's 1,493. But I think that was that's a little premature.
Yeah.
Is that all in one night?
No,
That was
we
the
were in
wedding he
the
DJ'd. The whole DJing.
yeah. I just
Turn up.
at the Waffle House in Portland. I think I played that 1,493 times.
Don't tell anybody else that.
Is that the night I poured syrup on myself?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh my
All right. Anyhow, another night.
Anyhow,
Bye,
you
guys.
get that
Steve, you
story.
got the
You
platform.
get that story.
So clearly we have stories, right? Like we have some pretty funny stories. What's a story that for you stands out that is funny, or something that made it click for you, maybe from like a friendship or relationship like standpoint, that you could share with
Wow.
us? Like one that just
Wow.
pops in your head. First one that pops in your head.
I love that.
Well, sometimes in cigar lounges, after hours,
Yep.
am I trying to choose my words?
It's always after
You
hours.
shouldn't. You
After
should on this
hours.
show. You shouldn't have to choose your words.
No.
After hours can be a little grimy,
Debaucherous.
debaucherous, seedy,
Mhm.
unsavory.
Or really
However,
savory.
I do also feel like I should say this before I leave this, because I like to have a good time, but I also go to cigar lounges where I feel safe enough where, yes, I can let my hair down and again talk a little shit. It's my favorite thing to do, all while smoking and having a cocktail. So, but after hours sometimes can get a little grimy, and I embrace that because I'm that bitch. So I mean, usually
That's why we're friends.
That's why you're on. That's why you're on this show.
Yeah. If you're willing to go
I mean,
down the rabbit hole of Tony and Jeremy, you are a special person.
thank you. Thank you. But yeah, usually after hours we have a little more fun. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's music involved. I consider myself an ambassador of Second Street Cigar Lounge downtown. Whether they recognize it or not, I call myself the ambassador, the first lady, maybe the second lady of Second Street Cigar Lounge. And sometimes we let our hair down with the music and the chat, and we have events, and it can get a little wild.
Shout out to Gregory. My man.
Shout out to Gregory. I'm sure he's
Boom.
listening. He's actually here in the
Yeah.
area with me.
Ah, man. Such a good dude.
He said to tell you what's up.
Well, I say what's up back.
Yeah, he said what's up back. He supports me heavily with Sisters of the Leaf. If you can hear that, he said he's drinking Ardbeg
Yeah.
Black. Do you want him to come and say hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love to.
Come on, G.
It's been a minute since
Cameo.
I've seen.
Oh, can I see myself?
Cameo.
Oh,
see
what's
myself.
up, Gregory? How you doing, man?
What's
Well,
up, man?
We can't see you guys right now though, but
I see on the video.
yeah.
Nah.
He's
How are
As
you?
can see, my beard has grown in like Jeremy's,
not quite. Not
like the
It's
black
very close.
California hillbilly.
not quite.
Right. I couldn't wear the right shirt because I know Tony likes to keep his shirt unbuttoned all the way down here.
Sexy.
You know, but I got a polo on.
I love it, man. I love it.
Oh, there
I
you
love
are. We couldn't see you guys at first, so but there he is,
No.
Jeremy.
Well,
You
no,
know
I was
love
putting you
Caldwell
guys
cigars, but
up.
Tony, your cigars are dope. I love the sizes as well. Love the sizes.
I don't know if they can hear you.
You know, last
Thank
time
you.
I was in LA, I
We
stopped
can,
by
we
your
can.
shop and I was talking
Them in your left
to
ear.
the lady behind the counter, and
All right, let's see if I can hear you
were
guys
not
now.
in.
He came in and Nina was there and you weren't there. Nina,
Oh,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah, yeah.
staple.
Nina, yeah. Nina's been there for years. Nina's mother used to roll for Padron cigars.
Crazy.
Yeah, from
What?
Nicaragua.
But FYI,
I still can't hear you guys, but I'm sure what you're saying is not important. You know.
nah. But FYI, I
It's
was
not.
in LA to hang out and go to a show, but I came to see you, but I missed you. I didn't call you, but I appreciate you, man, and thank you for all your support and just friendship, man.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Jeremy is such good people. Like we sat back, what we had? We had a couple drinks, talk about cigars. Man, Caldwell is awesome. I love the artwork. You know, I'm a big artist. Love the artwork. Love the cigars even more. And the blends are phenomenal. Phenomenal. I saw Tony on the last episode. He was smoking the Eastern Standard. That's one of my favorite cigars, especially in the morning with espresso.
Are you still sporting art on your walls and available for sale, or has that since moved on?
You know, that's a guy. It's moved on. I've moved some of the artwork up to the office upstairs, like where we were sitting. Guy named Jim Pollock took those photographs, and he's a cigar smoker. He loved it. Loved that we purchased the lounge and up there.
Keep downstairs. You know, you have to really be careful with the type of artwork you show while people are smoking, because you want to give them the best smoking experience. But
Yeah, fuck them, Greg. Fuck them.
It's awesome. And because of Maisha, I was able to get down there to Miami Black Smoke, so I know Caldwell sponsored Miami Black Smoke, and so I got a chance to see Wynwood and my first time in Miami.
Dope. Dope.
You know how that is. California boy in Miami.
Man, it's good to see you. When this shit storm passes, I will see you again, my friend.
Absolutely, man. We got to get together and hang out.
Hey,
one of the last times we saw each other, you was spilling alcohol on my shoes in a bar in New Orleans.
Probably so.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I'm a degenerate. What do you want?
Onto my shoe.
Hey, Gregory, come down one night with Maisha to the warehouse, and I'll host you guys, and we'll have a good time.
I will, absolutely.
We will.
Absolutely.
We will.
I'm gonna keep checking out the podcast too, not just this episode, but the future episodes. I'm gonna check out the previous episodes as well. I love it.
They're probably going to be worse.
It's all downhill from here.
It's all
downhill. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know about downhill. We've got some good guests coming up, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I
If you want to share that before we...
We're 40 minutes over, but...
Hey, I just want to say, Maisha, thank you so much. Like, you're...
Thank you.
We're now kinfolk, you and
we
I.
Are.
So I look forward to getting to, get to smoke with you person to person. We obviously have met each other before, but I can't wait to break bread with you. And obviously Tony's in Ohio, so we'll FaceTime him while we're hanging. But thank you for your thoughts and your opinions and just your story and what
Thank
you
you.
do, what you've done. I
I
appreciate it.
appreciate that, guys. I appreciate you giving me a shout and let me be a part of this. This is one for the books.
Rad.
Did you have fun? That's
I did. I knew I
Wait,
would.
then
Good.
let's do one
Good.
more shot
Good.
together before it's all
Let's
over.
do one more shot, and
Hey,
then
Gregor,
I'm in a
you
let
van. I'm not
Maisha
driving.
go.
hold on, I
I
got.
don't even, Christine. I don't know what shot we're on. She asked
It
what shot
don't
we're
matter.
on.
Just put
6,
shot.
7.
I'm gonna put 5 up there.
It's not 5.
I think it's 6, maybe.
I'm gonna put 6 up there.
Just put 700 because it's funny.
7.
Because we would all be dead. Hey, by the way, you guys didn't know that Maisha is in the fashion industry and she's rocking that shirt like a
Thank
badass
you.
right there.
Thank you.
Well,
I was trying to bring a little color.
Yep.
that was actually
That deserves, I think, a shot and a half. All right. Fellas, ladies, thank you so much for tonight. And we'll catch you all next week.
And
check out
next
out the
next
post.
week we have
There you go.
Nick Malio with Foundation. So we're going to tear some shit up and
That's
get him
dope.
drunk
That's dope.
with Nick, our boy. So cheers.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Play that music.
Oh, hold on. And whoever's still here, we're gonna start to do some swag.
Oh,
So if you guys share the video, whoever's
Easy.
left, and we see it, you're gonna get some shirts or some hats or something. We're gonna figure it out in the next
easy.
month. But until then, good night, y'all. And we're gonna have some after hours party.
That you're all not
Forthcoming.
invited to.
Oh,
Oh,
No,
good night.
isn't it the group? They don't get invited into this. I'm just being real.
No, they don't get invited. Only Steve's getting invited because Steve was the one that wanted to come on. Because Zach picked him.
Steve.
it's been my
Blame it on-
dream. It's been my dream to join the after hours party.
Because you've never been a part of the after hours party with.
Yeah, I text Jeremy. I'm like, "Where's this after hours party?" Tony, "Where's this after hours party?" No resse. And it's like,
Exactly.
I
Ignore.
Maisha,
I'm
don't
just not
sign off
that cool.
because there's something I want. There was a comment made since you don't get to see the comments that I wanted to. We'll
Well, hold
hit
on.
you up. Yeah.
Are we ending it or do you want to do
Yeah.
one more? I mean, don't put your
What?
hands up. I'm not going to shoot you.
One more what? Shot?
No, I just want to end the.
What was the
wondering if
comment?
end the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Go ahead. Close it out.
Good night.